Bangor. From the Great Northwoods to the Rockland Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Today on Good Morning Maine, a Whitefield man has been arrested after a 15-hour-long standoff with police. Plus, we'll hear from officials about flooding concerns in Winslow, and we'll hear from a 99-year-old woman who has made it her duty to learn new things every day. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith and thank you for tuning in this morning. Let's hit the ground running and get a first check of that forecast. Devin Biggs joins us now. Good morning, Devin.
Hey, Emma, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop with all your fishing needs, carrying ammo, Damascus knives, gold and silver buying and selling, and a novelty room. Concealed classes are available. Call today. Here we go this morning. Not much going on around here. We have some clouds that are currently moving in from the west, going toward the east. This will give way to rain showers developing later this afternoon, as we'll be watching for another system that will be developing. Here's a look at the big picture right now. A lot of precipitation off toward the west. It is tracking off towards the east. We'll see this moving in by the late afternoon to the evening time frame, mainly along and south of Bangor, but some of this may try to sneak in further out toward the north. You can already see there's a lot of lighting with this morning, as it is tracking off towards the north and east. As for the wind, not too bad, though, mainly out of the south at about 5 miles per hour. But as you know, the directions will be changing from time to time, but the winds rather remaining calm, especially as we head through your Wednesday as well. As for Futurecast, not too bad. There is the rain moving in late this afternoon to the evening time frame. Might be a little bit aggressive with some of this, but we will be watching for rain at least through early Wednesday morning before we catch a little bit of a break. So your forecast for today afternoon, rain showers, highs reaching for around 40 degrees. That's south wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. As for tonight, 34 degrees, more rain showers on the way. North breeze at about 5 miles per hour. In our hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, we'll have increasing clouds with rain showers arriving by the late afternoon period. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Emma?
Thank you, Devin. A Whitefield man has been arrested after an armed standoff that lasted over 15 hours. 42-year-old Jacob R. Walmer was taken into custody by the Maine State Police tactical team around 11 a.m. on Monday, which was after a standoff that began Sunday evening when police were called for a reported domestic disturbance to Walmer's home on Heath Road, where he and his girlfriend live. Upon deputy arrival, Walmer would reportedly not answer the door and was seen moving about the house carrying a rifle. As deputies moved away from the house, they heard a shot fired from inside the home, followed by more. Multiple attempts were initially taken to contact Walmer's girlfriend, but they were unsuccessful. It was a few hours later that she was able to call to explain she was being held inside the home with threats of violence keeping her in place. She was eventually able to escape. The standoff lasted most of the night, which involved most of Heath Road being closed and electric being cut in the area. No one was harmed in the incident, and Walmer is being held on $10,000 cash bail with multiple felony charges. In other news, a community is in shock after a racial slur was left on the walls of one of their schools. Devin Dagnall met with locals to discuss the issue.
Reports say that a racial slur was spray-painted on one of the exterior walls of the Albert S. Hall School, an elementary school in Waterville that educates grades 4 and 5. Kathleen Harding is a resident of the city, and she says that she saw the graffiti on the morning of December 30th while she was walking her dog.
Scooby and I were walking past this, that we always do every day. And when I looked up and I saw that white wall, I was stunned. I didn't think that here in Waterville, Maine, we would have that kind of hate.
Sarah Ann Wing is the mother of 2 daughters that attend school in Waterville and the vice president of the school's PTA. And she says she can't understand why someone would do this.
I can't even begin to try and imagine why in general it would happen, let alone at a school, an elementary school.
Wing says that the situation is especially frustrating for her family because both of her daughters are biracial.
As they are biracial, we have talked about racism. So I did tell my kids what happened. Probably going to have more conversations in the next few days with them as they process it and think about it. They're not easy conversations, but I feel like they deserve to be able to have those conversations.
The graffiti has since been painted over. In an email sent out to parents shortly after the administration was made aware of the graffiti, Peter Howland, the assistant superintendent of Waterville Public Schools, said, "While it was a priority to remove the racist graffiti before students returned from school, this is not an indication that we have moved on from the incident." Aaron Medore, the principal of Albert S. Hall Elementary School, says administrative teams will be meeting Tuesday to discuss the incident, and that the school's civil rights team is also engaged in the situation. At this time, there is still an ongoing investigation by the Waterville Police Department. In Waterville, Devin Dagnall for ABC7 and Fox 22.
For Winslow residents, if you live or commute around the intersection of where Bay Street meets China Road, you may have seen some flooding there from time to time. But there are plans in the works to change that. Town officials hope $2.7 million provided by the state will help rebuild the drainage equipment around Cushman Road, which is off China Road. The town manager tells us that the storm drainage system in that area predates the neighborhoods that have been built around it. Eventually, the pavement built around those neighborhoods has protected more storm runoff than the system can handle. She says the grant money provided by the Maine Department of Transportation will go a long way to help replace the system and reduce the floodwaters that occur during hard rainstorms. An update on the Southern Maine man who attacked NYPD officers with a machete in Times Square on New Year's Eve. 19-year-old Trevor Bickford is now charged with 2 counts of attempted murder of a police officer and 2 counts of attempted assault. Asia Reed has more.
Investigators spent New Year's Day in and out of Trevor Bickford's family home in Wells. Neighbors like Steve Isles kept an eye on what was happening.
It's just kind of hard to believe. I was just shocked. It's, Wells is a very small community, and you think, did this really just happen here?
According to police, the 19-year-old took the Amtrak train from Maine to New York on December 29th. Police say Bickford attacked 3 officers with a large knife on New Year's Eve. All were sent to the hospital. They say Bickford was also sent to the hospital after an officer shot him in the shoulder. The attack happened just after 10 p.m., blocks from the Times Square New Year's Eve celebration. It was outside the high security zone, where people are screened for weapons. In Maine, records show Bickford lives on Alpine Drive. According to neighbors, Bickford graduated from Wells High School in 2022. Isles says the suspect has 2 brothers. All of the boys were wrestlers and described them as a kind family. He says the Bickfords are quiet and keep to themselves.
My son Andrew went to high school with the boys. They weren't really close. They weren't close friends or whatever, but Wells has, a really small school system, so, everybody kind of knows everybody.
Community members say the news was a shock. A woman who lives nearby says she wonders why the suspect committed the crime.
Oh, this is insane. I'm like blown away to think so close from home that someone would like go all the way to New York and commit these crimes.
Law enforcement officers continue to investigate, trying to figure out a motive and if it was a terror incident.
The time now is 8:08. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, an important figure in the community of Bangor passed away on Sunday. We'll hear details of her life when we return. But first, let's take another look at that forecast. Rainy and overcast today, highs of around 40 degrees, dropping down to 34 tonight. That rain will continue on tonight and into tomorrow, where highs will be high of 44.
Are you looking to have some fun, including soaring on Skyrider, the ultimate indoor zip line? Well, come over to Urban Air, Bangor's #1 birthday party destination, located at the Airport Mall. Urban Air has gravity-defying attractions for all ages, including our Warrior Course, trampolines, enormous arcade section, and climbing walls. Call us today to schedule your birthday party. And don't forget, we have endless play memberships available as well. Urban Air, let them fly.
Toyota's all-wheel drive vehicles not only conquer the elements, Toyota conquers its competitors by sheer selection. You see, Toyota has 20 different all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive models. That's more than Subaru, more than Honda, more than Jeep. Conquer most anything with the adventure-seeking all-wheel drive RAV4 or the powerful all-wheel drive RAV4 Hybrid, both with Toyota Safety Sense technology included. See your New England Toyota dealer, your all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
Mom and Dad, you must be so proud.
We're proud of all of our children.
She has to say that.
Oh, you can't run away from me forever.
Just a heads up, this is my good side.
Yeah.
Bazinga, bazinga, bazinga.
Ah! Are you trying to kill me?
Weekdays at 6 on Fox 22.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith. The former owner of Specialty Suites in Bangor has passed away. Eliza Butler, a wife and mother of 4, was battling stage 4 breast cancer. We spoke with Butler back in March of 2022 about her diagnosis. She told us her cancer started as stage 1, but she missed early detection, and by July of 2021, the cancer had spread throughout her body. Butler's friends, area businesses, her church, and family members organized a number of fundraisers over the last year to help pay for her medical expenses. Eliza Butler passed away January 1st. A Bangor woman is proving you're never too old to learn new things. 99-year-old Mary Hunter is a longtime volunteer and crafter who loves to encourage others and herself to try new things. Our Jody Hersey recently sat down with Mary in Winterport to hear how life has only gotten better with age.
We had separate schools, separate churches, separate cemeteries.
Mary Hunter moved to Maine from Georgia and has seen more than most in her 99 years. She's lived through wars, numerous presidential elections, as well as segregation and discrimination.
I can mingle with people, and I enjoy it. Because when I was growing up, I could work for you, but I couldn't sit at the table with you. I couldn't use your bathroom.
Mary has never let other people's view of her affect her outlook on life.
Late Senator Margaret J. Smith, I wish she was still alive. Just knowing her, knows the type person. She's that type person that I like to be around people. Don't look at the color of the skin. Looks at as a person. Right. My daughter was a secretary to her.
Hunter and her late husband have always been avid volunteers who enjoy spending time with people, no matter their age or color of their skin. Over the years, Hunter has volunteered at area nursing homes and hospice where she shares her love of crafting. When she was in her mid-90s, she decided to take piano lessons because she wanted to learn something new.
And my teachers, I want to learn to play the song and sing it as I play it. And it's working for me. She told me it's hard at my age to do that, but how would I know if I didn't try?
Hunter is currently working with literacy volunteers to get better at reading and public speaking. She says she also hopes to learn to play cribbage this year.
As long as I can help myself and others, I want to live, and I'm doing it.
In Winterport, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
She keeps learning and therefore teaching us in the meantime. Good for her. The time is now 8:13. After the break, a Buffalo Bills player collapsed last night on the field. We'll have the details as Good Morning Maine continues.
Comfy, cozy, relaxing. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find rockers, recliners, sofas, and easy chairs. Quality furniture, affordable prices. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
Here at Garrett's Auto Sales, we believe in fair prices, superior service, and always treating the customer right. We have a fantastic selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs to choose from, with some priced under $10,000. All our vehicles come with a complimentary 30-day warranty and can be seen at garrettsauto.com. Come see us at Garrett's Auto Sales, where we focus on you, the customer. We're located just 2 miles from the Brewer Walmart on Route 1A. We look forward to meeting you. Come bowl a few games here at Bangor Brewer Bowling Lanes. We're one of the only Candlepin bowling alley centers in Maine, conveniently located in the heart of Brewer. You always have the opportunity to simply bowl for fun. However, you can also join a league. We have youth leagues, adult and senior leagues. Now don't forget, we also host birthday parties for under $100, and gift certificates are also available. Give us a call right away at 989-3798 to make reservations for your birthday party today.
I haven't been honest with myself. Or you.
The Resident returns tonight.
We just get one leg. Our trauma center is closing down. It's finished.
We will not let a bully destroy us.
Yes!
The Resident returns with all new episodes tonight at 8 on Fox.
I don't care how rich or famous they are, they will play by our rules.
I just want to feel like I'm worth something.
Special Forces World's Toughest Test, January 4th on Fox. Durable, sturdy, stylish. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find solid wood, built to last, made in Maine dressers, bureaus, and nightstands. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
Some federal health agencies issue a concerning prediction about a chronic disease affecting young people. A report from the Centers for Disease Control and the National Institutes of Health say that the number of young Americans with type 2 diabetes could jump to nearly 700% by 2060. The American Diabetes Association's medical journal says a 65% increase in type 1 diabetes is already likely as well. The report also says a higher burden of type 2 diabetes could be more likely to affect Black, Hispanic, Latino, Asian, Pacific Islander, American Indian, and Alaska Native youths. A lot of Americans are keeping a close eye on Twitter right now for what could be very interesting new information about Dr. Anthony Fauci. The recently retired former White House chief medical advisor is to be the subject of the next document dump by the social media giant. Fox News chief Washington correspondent Mike Emanuel takes a look.
Twitter CEO Elon Musk says there's more to come in terms of exposing the inner workings of the social media giant. Musk tweeted Sunday, "Hope you're having a great day 1, 2023. One thing's for sure, it won't be boring." Then Musk wrote he'll release the so-called Fauci files, quote, later this week. Likely to be how Twitter handled material related to Dr. Anthony Fauci at the height of the COVID pandemic. The soon-to-be Republican chairman of House Oversight says he's already learned about government censorship during COVID.
We know that there were disinformation boards in all these government agencies. It wasn't just the FBI, it was also HHS and DHS and the Department of Defense. And there were lots of disinformation boards trying to suppress anyone who had competing ideas or competing facts to Dr. Fauci.
Comer's promising hearings about COVID's origins and Fauci's handling of the crisis. Fauci retired at the end of the year from serving as director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, but says he'll cooperate.
I'd be more than happy to explain publicly or otherwise everything that we've done, and I could defend and explain everything that we've done from a public health standpoint.
Before his departure, the White House offered full support for Fauci and his decades of service.
These personal attacks that we have been seeing are dangerous on Dr. Fauci and other public health professionals as well. They are disgusting and they are divorced from reality.
Already, leading Republicans are arguing Fauci had too much power, suggesting the country would have been much better served if the responsibility and power had been divided among a few people. In Washington, Mike Emanuel, Fox News.
It's the first day of the new Congress on Capitol Hill. As Republicans are set to take control of the U.S. House, GOP leader Kevin McCarthy is still short the votes he needs to clinch the speakership. ABC's M. Wynn has the latest from Washington.
This morning, a new Congress is set to convene with Republicans taking control of the House of Representatives. But there's still much uncertainty over the vote for Speaker. With only 4 Republicans to spare, GOP leader Kevin McCarthy of California is struggling to secure the votes he needs to clinch the gavel. 5 conservative members already said outright they won't support him. And even as McCarthy makes some concessions, including making it easier to remove him from his post, 9 others remain unconvinced, sources say. Representative Bob Good on Fox News.
I suspect 10 to 15 members will vote against him.
If McCarthy isn't initially elected, the quest for Speaker could extend into multiple rounds of votes, something that hasn't happened in a century. Despite that, McCarthy appears confident, his staffers spending the day moving his belongings into the Speaker's office.
Are you prepared to make more concessions in exchange for more support?
I hope we all have a very nice New Year's.
Meanwhile, McCarthy will need a yes vote from George Santos, the congressman-elect from New York who faces new legal trouble after admitting to lying or embellishing details of his career, college, and Jewish ancestry. Prosecutors in Brazil say they are reopening a 2008 criminal case against Santos for allegedly paying for goods with a stolen check. The case was suspended until now because police could not find Santos. It's on top of multiple investigations against Santos here in the U.S. Despite scrutiny from both sides of the aisle, top GOP leaders have largely remained silent, and Santos has refused to step down. The vote for Speaker is expected around noon today. The House won't be able to conduct any other business until the Speaker is elected.
The time now is 8:20. Let's get a full look at that forecast with meteorologist Evan Viggs.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. With all your fishing needs, carrying ammo, Damascus knives, gold and silver buying and selling, and a novelty room. Concealed classes are available. Call today. So here we go. We have clouds that are currently developing, tracking off from the west, going toward the east. We can see these developing right about in here. This is ahead of our next system. It's off toward our south and west now. It looks a little bit like this with a warm front that's going to be lifting in. And, of course, more of this rainfall as well. So we'll be watching for some temperatures that will be warming up a little bit. But, of course, we'll be watching for rain that will also be developing from time to time in a few spots before it transitions to snow later on this week. So here's Futurecast right here. We have plenty of clouds that are moving in, maybe a few breaks if you're lucky. The rain gets going later on this afternoon or the evening time frame. We'll keep that going pretty much overnight with a few breaks from time to time. But notice by Wednesday morning, we do catch a break, mainly just some clouds, maybe a few raindrops at times or a few flurries further off toward the north, and that'll be about it. And we'll keep that going for most of the day as we head towards your Wednesday. But overall, we will be enjoying that break. But otherwise, though, here we are. Not much of additional precipitation expected. We run this all the way through Friday, so this takes into account some of the snowfall expected later on, measured in rainfall units. So overall, not much water expected later on this week, but we will have to watch for a little bit of snow that will be on the way as well, with our next system arriving later on this week as well. So this will be arriving in multiple waves. So here we are by Thursday morning, some snow arriving for Bangor, a winter mix further off towards the south and west. Mainly staying as snow for most of the state, but we'll be keeping this going all the way through Thursday as well. And maybe in parts of Friday also, before it starts to clear out of here just in time as we head towards your Saturday. As for snowfall, again, this is very rough at this point, so expect these numbers to change by at least a few inches possible before we're all finished up. Somewhere further off in the northern ends of the state, higher totals cannot be ruled out, but a few inches possible in our neck of the woods. We'll keep you posted as this does develop. So your forecast for today, lower 40s afternoon rain showers. That south wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. As for tonight, 34 degrees, more rain showers on the way. The north breeze at about 5 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, mid-40s, mostly cloudy with a slight chance for rain showers. The north wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And your Crosby Sports Shop extended forecast. So here we go. Here we are. Snow showers by Thursday. Highs in the mid-20s. Lower 30s by Friday. More snow showers on the way. And we're mostly cloudy on Saturday. Highs in the low 30s.
Silver Fox Automotive is a family-owned and operated company with more than 30 years of experience. We are originally from the county and offer competitive prices and promise you will be completely satisfied with our work. We offer a stress-free experience to both our new and returning customers. We only use parts from reputable brands to ensure your vehicle is safe to drive. Here at Silver Fox, there will always be a friendly face to greet you. Come see us at 2004 Audlin Road in Herman.
CEM DP Porter Contractors has been in business for over 40 years in the Bangor area. We specialize in design build for commercial, medical, and residential. We can assist our customers with anything from lot procurement to helping find financing for your project, along with building maintenance and renovations. CEM DP Porter Contractors is currently hiring in Herman for multiple positions, including carpenters and laborers. We offer vacation, holidays, a 3% IRA match, and competitive pay. If interested in applying, please contact Jason at 207-848-7486.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
On the next Last Man Standing, Kyle gets a new look.
Oh my God, shut up!
So you're saying I'm not good enough the way I am? You want to change me?
Yes.
All right. And when Boyd breaks bad,
Boyd won't obey me unless I give him ice cream.
Kristen learns her lesson.
Parenting is hard, and there's no book to tell you how to do it.
There are literally thousands of books.
What book do you guys parent with? How to Raise a Kid by Ben and Jerry?
Last Man Standing.
This afternoon, starting at 4 on Fox 22.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine, and now for your national news. After 3 straight days of Russian missile attacks in Ukraine hitting back Monday with an attack of its own. Fox News correspondent Nate Foy has the latest from Kyiv.
A major attack on Russian forces as fighting in Ukraine extends into a new year. Russia's defense ministry reports dozens of soldiers were killed after a Ukrainian rocket strike hit a temporary barracks in Donetsk.
As a result of the strike of 4 missiles with a high explosive warhead at a temporary deployment point, 63 Russian servicemen were killed.
It marks one of the deadliest attacks on Moscow's forces since the start of the war nearly a year ago. Reports from sources inside Russia claim the facility was right next to an ammunition depot, which exploded in the attack and contributed to the death toll. For the people of Ukraine, Russian airstrikes have become more frequent. A missile and drone strike on New Year's Eve killed at least 2 people. Those sifting through the debris say they can rebuild their homes, but nothing can bring their loved ones back.
We were building this house for 5-6 years with our salary, with our money, and all this, and here we are, this happens. What could I say? They are beasts. They are not humans, they are beasts.
Ukraine says it shot down 45 Iranian-made drones launched by Russia on New Year's morning. President Zelensky believes the tide may be turning.
They are afraid. You can feel it. And they are right to be afraid because they are losing. Drones, missiles, anything else will not help them because we are together, and they are together only with fear.
Ukraine also shot down 41 drones overnight and a Russian missile. Reporting in Kyiv, Ukraine, I'm Nate Foy, Fox News.
Members of Congress are expecting to pass more social media regulations in 2023. A bipartisan bill was passed by Congress in December, which banned TikTok from government devices, but experts say the U.S. is still behind the rest of the world in social media regulation. In order to pass social media legislation, lawmakers say strong bipartisan support is needed to challenge lobbying from big tech. Last year, measures such as antitrust legislation and measures to protect kids online failed to pass, but could be brought back up in 2023. Investigators say they have their man ruling out any other suspects in the brutal slayings of 4 University of Idaho students. And just days after Brian Koberger was taken into custody, new details emerge over how investigators zeroed in on him as the suspect. Fox's Dan Springer has more from Moscow, Idaho.
Days after his arrest, 28-year-old Brian Koberger is awaiting extradition to Idaho, where he faces 4 counts of first-degree murder in the slayings of 4 University of Idaho students.
He has been named as our suspect, and we believe he is the one that is responsible.
Authorities tracked Koberger for 4 days before arresting him at his parents' eastern Pennsylvania home early Friday morning, roughly 2,000 miles from Washington State University, where he was enrolled as a criminal justice Ph.D. student. And from the University of Idaho, where Kaylee Gonzalez, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin were brutally killed. Koberger is set to appear in a Pennsylvania courtroom on Tuesday. He's expected to waive extradition and be taken back to Idaho. Once in front of a judge, the probable cause affidavit will be unsealed, revealing how investigators zeroed in on him. But it's believed genetic genealogy evidence pointed police to him.
That means if we have enough data, if we have enough cousins, enough matches, we can eventually narrow it down to just one family and often just one individual.
This as authorities continue their investigation into the suspect. Police already flooded with hundreds of calls.
We're trying to build this picture now of him, who he is, his history, how we got to this event, why this event occurred.
Koberger could be flown back to Idaho as early as Tuesday night and appear before a judge here in Latah County, Idaho, as early as Wednesday. In Moscow, Idaho, Dan Springer, Fox News.
The death toll rising from an attack on a Mexican prison. According to Mexican authorities on Monday, 17 people have been killed as a result of the incident. 10 of the dead are said to be prison guards. Gunmen arriving at the prison in Ciudad Juarez early Sunday in armored vehicles and began firing on the entrance and inside dormitories. The operation is said to have been designed to free the leader of a local gang. 25 inmates escaped during the raid. Shelters in U.S. border towns are overwhelmed with an influx of migrants with no end in sight. The shelters are taking in as many as possible, but as we start the new year in places like El Paso, hundreds are living on the street due to the lack of space. Fox News multimedia reporter Madison Scarpino has more on this near in the border in El Paso.
Rescue mission of El Paso is still taking people in, but they are reaching their limit. They used to hold around 100 people, but now over the last few months, they're housing up to 300 people, and it's putting a strain on resources. There are migrants of all ages in these shelters. The youngest here is just a few days old. The shelter's CEO, Blake Barrow, says they opened up a new space around 10 days ago to hold all of the migrants in need. Barrow says they aren't turning anyone away for now, but the reality is there are still hundreds of migrants living on El Paso's streets. Barrow says oftentimes families will get separated on their journey to the U.S. and want to wait on the streets instead of going to a shelter. Barrow says these migrants all came over to be able to support their families.
We can do what we can to help a person in need that's standing in front of us, but the real answer is what can we do to make Central America a place that you're willing to live in your own country. Now, when you have governments in places like Nicaragua and Venezuela, that's a whole lot easier said than done.
Migrants I spoke to say back in their country, they are scared for their lives. Just over the weekend across the border from here in Juarez, Mexico, only about 2 miles away, 14 people were killed when a gunman attacked a state prison. The journey to the U.S. for these people was treacherous, and Barrow says he's heard countless of heartbreaking stories like people getting robbed and family members getting murdered on their way to the U.S. So far, the shelter has yet to receive federal funding, and everything comes from private donations, but they're hoping to receive federal reimbursement soon as they're working with the county, who is applying for FEMA assistance. In El Paso, Madison Scarpino, Fox News.
Coming up on Good Morning Maine, we'll check out the New Year's Day polar plunge that MDI community members took part in over the weekend. We'll be right back.
I went to Angie and typed in pool,
water heater,
cleaners, garage,
interior painting, exterior painting.
For whatever project you need, there's an option.
Oh, I have another project. Let me try this.
Get started at Angie.com today.
Looking for a new work experience? Fox and ABC Bangor are partnering with local employers to feature the best local job opportunities, like this one.
Tyler came to Nitro Trailers a little over 4 years ago as a production welder, and throughout his time here, with hard work, determination, positive attitude, coachable, Tyler has advanced many positions throughout that short amount of time. He's been a huge asset to the company. Really enjoy having Tyler here and hope to have many more like him in the future.
When Watch Me Shine wants to know the local forecast, you log on to foxbangor.com. Watch Me Shine is hiring early childhood providers and behavioral health professionals to work with young children and empower them to learn and shine in all they do. To apply, call 990-0162.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Today is Tuesday, January 3rd of 2023. And today is also National Right to Congress Day, a day that highlights how all voters are encouraged to tell elected officials what's on their minds, since one of the most basic tenets of U.S. democracy is citizen participation in the government, which is seen not only as a right, but a duty. And that duty, I'd say, isn't really fulfilled through antagonistic Facebook posts. On this day in history, in 1870, construction began on New York City's Brooklyn Bridge, which was completed 13 years later. In 1933, Minnie D. Craig became the first female to hold a speaker position anywhere in the United States, being the elected speaker of the North Dakota House of Representatives. And in 1977, Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs incorporated Apple Computer Inc. They've come very far since then. And for birthdays today, we have J.R.R. Tolkien, known for The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, of course. An NFL quarterback, Eli Manning, is 42 today. And let's move on. It's time to check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Good morning, Devin.
Hey, Emma, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop with all your fishing needs, carrying ammo, Damascus knives, gold and silver buying and selling, and a novelty room. Concealed classes are available. Call today. Here we go this morning. Not much going on around here. We have some clouds that are currently moving in from the west, going toward the east. This will give way to rain showers developing later this afternoon, as we'll be watching for another system that will be developing. Here's a look at the big picture right now. A lot of precipitation off toward the west. It is tracking off towards the east. We'll see this moving in by the late afternoon to the evening time frame, mainly along and south of Bangor, but some of this may try to sneak in further out toward the north. You can already see there's a lot of lighting with this morning, as it is tracking off towards the north and east. As for the wind, not too bad, though, mainly out of the south at about 5 miles per hour. But as you know, the directions will be changing from time to time, but the winds rather remaining calm, especially as we head through your Wednesday as well. As for Futurecast, not too bad. There's the rain moving in late this afternoon to the evening time frame. Might be a little bit aggressive with some of this, but we will be watching for rain at least through early Wednesday morning before we catch a little bit of a break. So your forecast for today afternoon, rain showers, highs reaching for around 40 degrees. That south wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. As for tonight, 34 degrees, more rain showers on the way. North breeze at about 5 miles per hour. In your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, we'll have increasing clouds with rain showers arriving by the late afternoon period. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Emma?
Thank you, Devin. Well, on New Year's Day, community members of Mount Desert Island joined the crew of the Tremont Fire Department to do a celebratory polar plunge. And I'm pretty sure this is an annual thing, but this time around, it wasn't as polar as years past. At 10 a.m. on Sunday, the water was around 42 degrees, almost 10 degrees colder than the air. So it was quite a warm day as far as January 1st goes. The swimmers were joined by a lifeguard and an ambulance, just as measures of support just in case. But it looks like everybody enjoyed themselves. Doesn't look like they were coming out of there too quick. They were taking their time. Good for them. Well, still to come here this morning, Tyler Cruz and Ryan Sudol will have your latest with local sports. We'll be right back.
Come stop by Triple S Tack Shop, 315 Hamden Road, Carmel, for quality clothing and equestrian gear.
Toyota's all-wheel drive vehicles not only conquer the elements, Toyota conquers its competitors by sheer selection. You see, Toyota has 20 different all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive models. That's more than Subaru, more than Honda, more than Jeep. Conquer most anything with a tough Tacoma 4x4, the best-selling midsize pickup for 17 years, and named best truck among midsize pickups. See your New England Toyota dealer, your all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
Realtors at Morrison & Company with Next Home Experience have been serving satisfied clients since 2016. With more than $25 million in sales for 2022 alone, we hold the expertise to get you from under contract to closing during this very personal experience. Our modern and hands-on approach will get you where you want to be, faster and with less hassle. Call us today for your real estate options.
showing.
Are you fed up with high prices at the pump? Do monthly utility bills drain your wallet?
If you're nodding your head yes, Renewal by Andersen is your best solution. They custom build and install weather-tight replacement windows and back them with a generous, fully transferable limited warranty.
Call now to schedule your free design consultation. Plus, take advantage of this limited time offer with incredible savings and attractive financing. Don't miss out. Call Renewal by Andersen today.
The theme for this round is things associated with Oprah. You get Pictionary. You get Pictionary. You get Pictionary.
Weekdays at 10 on Fox 22.
Hi everybody, Ryan Sudol here. Hope you had a safe and happy New Year's, and if you're a Pats fan, it's kind of hard to say that you didn't. The Patriots needed a win against the Dolphins Sunday to stay in the playoff hunt, and they did just that. The Pats beat the Dolphins 24-13 as they prepare for Buffalo on the road next week. At 8-8, they don't need to win that game to make the playoffs, but if they do win, they are in. After two devastating losses in back-to-back weeks, Coach Bill Belichick is simply happy about the heart of his squad.
You know, the overall resiliency and determination that the team, as a group and the staff showed, I thought was really, really good this week. And so battled all the way through it, just able to make enough plays to win. And so it's good. It's a good feeling.
That game can be seen Sunday at 1 p.m. Okay, now to some high school hoops. Not a lot of local action on Monday, but Matt Knockhook Academy is helping us fill that void as they hosted Calais in boys action. Lynx looking to break a 3-game drought. Blue Devils trying to bounce back from their loss to Woodland last week. Let's start third quarter. Evan Gillespie to Jace Cook, and he's cooking up a storm from beyond the arc. He drains the three. Devils up big. Later on, Cook again, his three off the mark. It's tipped out, and the Lynx's James Trott does as his name suggests. A lot of S's in there. He goes to the hole by himself for the lay-in. Still third quarter. Cook over to Alex Richard. 4-3. There must be something about that spot right there. Calais always makes it. Finally, check this out. Gillespie into Matt Dana. He can't hit the shot, but Jacob Sokabasin with the putback dunk. Yeah, we'll give it to him. Blue Devils roll over Matt Knockhook and win 82-32. Okay, now let's do that outdoor hockey. Monday was the NHL's annual Winter Classic, and the Bruins hosted the game at Fenway Park. The Bruins are 0-2 in home Winter Classics. Let's see if they can get their first W. Bruins facing the Pittsburgh Penguins, both teams in their throwback unis. Nice. Let's go to the third period. Penguins threatening. Danton Heinen centers it to Kasperi Kapanen, who puts it past Linus Ullmark. It's 1-0 Pittsburgh after 2. Third period, Bruins with it. Brand Marchand gets it to Jake DeBrusk, who gently rolls it into the back of the net. We are tied at 1 with 12 to go. Finally, under 3 left. Here comes David Krejci. Ahead to Taylor Hall. He tries to backhand it in, but DeBrusk is there once again on the rebound this time. Bruins take the lead. Right place, right time for DeBrusk. He scores both goals in the third period as the Bruins win the Winter Classic 2-1. Okay, we leave you with two things that aren't as much local as they are just sure to make a smile come on your face. First, in college football, 2 weeks ago, Mississippi State head coach Mike Leach died suddenly at age 62. Monday, the Bulldogs played in their first game since his passing, the ReliaQuest Bowl against Illinois in Tampa. And for a guy nicknamed the Pirate, what a better place to play the game than the stadium with a big pirate ship in it. Many tributes in pregame. Both bands performed honoring Leach, and there's the Pirate logo on the Mississippi State helmet. Let's start fourth quarter. Bulldogs down 10-3. Quarterback Will Rogers throws it to the back of the end zone and finds Justin Robinson for the toe-tapping tutty. Extra point ties it. Then 7 seconds to go in the game. Massimo Biscardi, 27-yard field goal for the lead, and he nails it. Dogs up 13-10. Illinois now trying for a miracle with some laterals. Quarterback Tommy DeVito gets it across the field, but it bounces and ends up in the hands of Marcus Banks. How about a scoop and score as time expires? Mississippi State is going to win this special game 19-10. And finally, a story that's just downright wild. You've probably received someone else's mail before, a bill, a magazine. Well, how about an invitation to one of the biggest golf tournaments in the world? The man you see here is PGA Tour golfer Scott Stallings. He's getting invited to the Masters. but he's not the one who got the invitation. Another guy named Scott Stallings received the golfer's invitation in the mail. Upon opening it, Stallings thought there had to have been some sort of mistake, so he sent the golfer a DM on social media in which he said, "I play, but nowhere near your level." As for how the confusion happened, the recipient, Stallings, points out that both guys live in Georgia and have wives named Jennifer. He then left his phone number for the golfer to call so the invitation could be sent to its rightful owner. I hope the story ends with him being on the bag for him in the Masters. That'd be so cool. Well, that's all the time we have for sports. I'm Ryan Sudol. We'll be back right after the break.
In recent years, we have seen many major shifts in the housing market. Maine Val has the experience and expertise to analyze these changes to provide a clear and accurate service for all your real estate appraisals. From estate and tax planning, divorce litigation, and other legal matters, we offer services to all our communities across the state of Maine. You do not have to navigate this turbulent market blindly. Trust in Maine Val's extensive experience to make highly informed decisions. Contact us today at 573-3222.
Now what? You say it when things go wrong. At Prudential, we think you should say it when things go right, too. Like when you score your dream job, sell your business, or discover she's smart, really smart. Now what? Here's what. You connect with Prudential's rock-solid team serving over 50 million people with investment, insurance, and retirement know-how. Who's your rock? Visit Prudential.com or speak to an advisor today.
Hey, Dad, I'm almost out.
I got you.
Any questions, Chris?
All good. Thanks, Maura. There you go. One new inhaler.
Nice. Did you get my refill, too?
Maybe.
Here you go, sir.
You're a lifesaver.
So nice day.
Healthier is managing all your family's prescriptions in one app. CVS Pharmacy. Healthier happens together.
The Drew Crew is here! Hello!
Yes, let's Drew it.
You're here. It's fantastic.
Just stay that way. I love it.
Baby, do you feel me now?
Feeling it.
Oh, give us a pint of the good stuff, Drew. You kind of crushed it today. I do love this job. Yeah!
Drew, weekdays at 11 on Fox 22.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith. Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin is in critical condition after suffering a cardiac arrest during Monday night's NFL game in Cincinnati. Fox News correspondent Jackie Ibanez has the latest.
Monday night's football game between the Buffalo Bills and Cincinnati Bengals ending in shock after Bills safety Damar Hamlin collapsed on the field after tackling Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins during the first quarter.
I was hopeful when he got up at first, but to see him just collapse, it's scary.
Medical crews quickly rushed to Hamlin's side. Responders performed CPR and used a defibrillator before the 24-year-old was rushed to the hospital in an ambulance. The incident resulting in NFL officials postponing Monday's game.
He's one of the hardest hitters on the team, and I've been loving watching him play. So he's a great man, he's a great player, and I just pray that he pulls through.
The Bills' Twitter account later posting this caption saying, quote, Damar Hamlin suffered a cardiac arrest following a hit in our game versus the Bengals. His heartbeat was restored on the field, and he was transferred to the UC Medical Center for further testing and treatment. He is currently sedated and listed in critical condition.
This is a contact sport. If it was a really severe amount of trauma, blunt trauma, it could have bruised the heart. The heart works on an elaborate electrical system, very fine-tuned. And if you happen to disrupt that electrical system at just the right moment, you can send the heart into a spin, essentially, where it's not pumping enough blood.
Meanwhile, supporters and fans gathered outside the University of Cincinnati Medical Center for a vigil honoring Hamlin. Hamlin joined the Bills back in 2021. So far, he's played every game this season. Jackie Ibanez, Fox News.
Doctors in Shanghai are being forced to treat patients outside of hospitals due to overcrowding. The influx is due to a massive spike in COVID-19 cases in the country. With capacity met inside, beds are being lined up in temporary holding areas right outside hospital doors. Over the past few months, China's COVID-related death reports are being met with skepticism from other countries. The country of 1.4 billion people says just over 5,000 residents have died from COVID, compared to the United States reporting 1 million deaths. A UK-based health data firm estimates around 9,000 people a day in China are likely dying from COVID. Wall Street looking to hopefully shape up in 2023 after stocks struggled in 2022. Fox Business Network's Edward Lawrence has this story and more coming up on Fox Means Business.
Drivers starting the new year with a little more pain at the pump. The national average for regular unleaded gas rising slightly over the weekend. A gallon now at $3.21 a gallon. That's around 10 cents higher than a week ago. Now, keep in mind, those prices are still way off the all-time highs of $5 from last June. Now, to Wall Street, the stock market closed on Monday for the New Year's holiday. Traders getting back to business on Tuesday after the worst year for stocks since 2008. Tech stocks and the Nasdaq suffering the steepest losses. And investors will be watching for some key clues on the economy later this week. We'll get weekly jobless claim numbers on Thursday. And Friday, we get the December jobs report. That could give us a sign on possible interest rate hikes from the Federal Reserve. So we'll be watching. That's business. I'm Edward Lawrence.
Elon Musk is the first person to lose $200 billion, according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index. Musk, who lost his world's richest man title last month, saw his net worth fall from $340 billion in November to $137 billion, as Tesla shares dropped by 65% in 2021. Musk told staffers last Wednesday not to be bothered by, quote, stock market craziness. For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
Good Morning America anchor Robin Roberts announced on the show on Monday that she'll be getting married this year. Roberts made the announcement during an interview with author Gabby Bernstein, in which they discussed saying yes and Bernstein's book, Super Attractor, Methods for Manifesting a Life Beyond Your Wildest Dreams.
So this new year, what are you a yes for?
Bernstein asked Roberts what she was saying yes to in 2023.
I'm saying yes to marriage. I'm saying yes to marriage. We're getting married this year.
Yes, okay,
and it's something we have talked about, but we had put it off.
Roberts will be marrying her longtime girlfriend, Amber Lane. It looks like Cher rang in the new year with some bling. The 76-year-old singer-actress tweeted a picture with her boyfriend, Alexander A.E. Edwards, and a diamond ring. The photo is captioned, "Happy New Year, Daddy." The engagement rumors are now spreading since in a previous post, Cher said the ring was a gift from Edwards. The Grammy and Oscar winner and 36-year-old music executive have been dating since the fall. Queen guitarist Brian May is now a Sir.
I got excited, I must say.
May was honored for his services to music and charity. He says he hopes the knighthood will give him a little bit more clout, joking that maybe people will listen to him if they know they are speaking to Sir Brian. And celebrating birthdays today, Black Widow actress Florence Pugh is 27. And the Wonder Years star Danica McKellar is 48. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Now here's meteorologist Devin Biggs with one final look at our full weather forecast. Good morning, Devin.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. With all your fishing needs, carrying ammo, Damascus knives, gold and silver buying and selling, and a novelty room. Concealed classes are available. Call today. So here we go. We have clouds that are currently developing, tracking off from the west, going toward the east. We can see these developing right about in here. This is ahead of our next system. It's off toward our south and west now. It looks a little bit like this with a warm front that's going to be lifting in. And, of course, more of this rainfall as well. So we'll be watching for some temperatures. They'll be warming up a little bit. But, of course, we'll be watching for rain that will also be developing from time to time in a few spots before it transitions to snow later on this week. So here's Futurecast right here. We have plenty of clouds that are moving in. Maybe a few breaks if you're lucky. The rain gets going later on this afternoon or the evening time frame. We'll keep that going pretty much overnight with a few breaks from time to time. But notice by Wednesday morning, we do catch a break, mainly just some clouds, maybe a few raindrops at times or a few flurries further off toward the north, and that'll be about it. And we'll keep that going for most of the day as we head towards your Wednesday. But overall, we will be enjoying enjoying that break. But otherwise, though, here we are. Not much of additional precipitation expected. We run this all the way through Friday, so this takes into account some of the snowfall expected later on, measured in rainfall units. So overall, not much water expected later on this week, but we will have to watch for a little bit of snow that will be on the way as well, with our next system arriving later on this week as well. So this will be arriving in multiple waves. So here we are by Thursday morning, some snow arriving for Bangor, a winter mix further off towards the south and west, mainly staying as snow for most of the state, but we'll be keeping this going all the way through Thursday as well, and maybe into parts of Friday also, before it starts to clear out of here just in time as we head towards your Saturday. As for snowfall, again, this is very rough at this point, so expect these numbers to change by at least a few inches possible before we're all finished up. Somewhere further off in the northern ends of the state, higher totals cannot be ruled out, but a few inches possible in our neck of the woods. We'll keep you posted as this does develop. So your forecast for today, lower 40s afternoon rain showers. That south wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. As for tonight, 34 degrees, more rain showers on the way. The north breeze at about 5 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, mid-40s, mostly cloudy with a slight chance for rain showers. The north wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And your Crosby Sports Shop extended forecast. So here we go. Here we are. Snow showers by Thursday. Highs in the mid-20s. Lower 30s by Friday. More snow showers on the way. And we're mostly cloudy on Saturday. Highs in the low 30s.
Hello, Maine. This is Steve McKay. It's a wintry mix out there, but pockets of orange are standing out against the white blanket of snow throughout the state. Next Home Experience is listing and selling homes just like yours. Get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience.
It's time to start planning that new home or garage you've been thinking about. Hammond Lumber Company is here to help, offering complete building packages with everything you need, with several options on their website and thousands of unique plans in their in-house drawing catalog. Hammond will help you make your dreams a reality. Choose your materials from Hammond's extensive showroom displays, and Hammond will deliver your order from any of the locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Start planning your new home or garage at Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner.
Pond Hill Farms in Brooks, Maine offers 100% grass-fed beef in a variety of ways. Choose between individual cuts that are state inspected and ready to pop in your fridge or freezer. If you're looking to stock up, Pond Hill Farms offer the option to purchase hanging weight by quarter, half, or whole. We also offer live cattle if you're looking to grow your own herd. Pond Hill Farms also offer rental cottages with spectacular views of the farm and the Maine outdoors. Whether you're looking for fresh Maine meat or a gorgeous place to vacation, Pond Hill Farms is the place to be.
One good guess.
Cursed romance. Star-crossed lovers.
You better work! Deserves another.
Egyptian writing.
Hieroglyphics.
Wow! I felt like the person shouting wrong answers in the study group.
And another.
Opposite water? Sand.
25 words or less.
You did it again. You're going home with another $10,000.
Weekdays at 9 on Fox 22. Looking for your dream home? Contact a Next Homie today and see what's available right now. Sellers, get ready to get looped and get sold. With Next Home Experience, we have your buyers.
Time to head over to see what Howard has for us in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
January is National Soup Month, and I can't think of a better time to dig into a steaming bowl of soup. So that's what we're making today, and it'll go with all our game day favorites. Just wait until you see all the fun ways we can serve it. All we do is heat some milk with a little beer in a soup pot. That can be anything from light beer or a dark stout to non-alcoholic. See, I told you this would be good for game day. Once it's heated through, we add 2 jars of cheese bread. And to give this a boost of flavor, we add some condensed chicken broth, straight from a can, a touch of Worcestershire, and a shake or two of hot sauce. Now, to give this body, we stir in some cornstarch mixed with more beer and let it simmer until it thickens up. Now, as for ways to serve this, how about pouring shots so everyone can get a taste? Or, better yet, serve it in an edible bread bowl topped with bacon and scallions. I hope you'll go online so you can celebrate National Soup Month with our creamy beer cheese soup that'll make you the talk of the table. When the flavor is this good, you can't go wrong. I'm Howard of the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where every day we're looking for an easier way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
I didn't know it was National Soup Month. I guess I'll have to get on that. Well, a firearm with a tie to a rough and ready president goes up for auction and nearly hits the $1 million mark. An iconic Smith & Wesson new model No. 3 single-action revolver that belonged to President Theodore Roosevelt sold for more than $910,000. The revolver was presented to Roosevelt on May 12, 1898. The revolver apparently didn't make it into the war against Spain.